Hi, and welcome to this tutorial on the Flux Immersive channel. Today we're going to tackle the second part of our series on the Studio Session Pack. If this kind of content interests you, feel free to subscribe and activate the bell so as not to miss any future videos. In the previous video, we looked at numerous different types of equalization, but today we'll be concentrating on dynamic treatment, using the Pure Compressor, the Pure Expander, the Bittersweet Pro, as well as the Syrah. Here's how I personally use each of these plugins. The Pure Compressor is my default compressor. It allows me to work quickly using only a few of its functions, or to go much further if the source has a more difficult level to tame. For the Syrah, I use it principally on vocals. It saves me a lot of work with the faders. It's also very efficient to use on buses. If you'd like more information on the Syrah, please watch the video we've already made. I often use the Pure Expander when working on multi-track live recordings, or on drums with a lot of bleed between the mics. Here's an example. In this case, I have a snare. I can try to gain a few dBs of dynamic on this snare using the Pure Expander. To do that, I'm going to begin with the simple gate preset that I'll then tweak. In order to avoid any artifacts in the sound, I'm going to turn down the range to about -10 or -15 dB. I'll then tweak the ratio, this time in a less extreme manner, and also the hold and release times. Without the Pure Expander, with the Pure Expander, to finish this overview of the Studio Session Pack's dynamic plugins, the Bittersweet Pro allows me to work on the transients, and it's a fantastic tool for adding punch to any source signal. Just like the Syrah, we already have 2 videos looking at the Bittersweet Pro. The links can be found in the description below. Now, back to our multi-track. Though we've had to do a lot of equalization, our compression will be a lot more sober. My first compressor is a Syrah on the voice. Something to take note of, the Syrah is quite sensitive to the input gain. For this reason, I'll apply a 10 decibel boost on the input. The link button leaves the Syrah to compensate the gain. As I explained earlier, the Syrah will allow me to follow the level of the vocal with ease. For example, on the end of this phrase, without the Syrah, we lose the last syllables. However, with the Syrah, we maintain the same level. Seeing as the Syrah's detection is based on the variation in sound level, this setting also works on the calmer, more pianissimo parts of the track. Like the blistering sun, my haze. Like the blistering sun, my haze. We can clearly hear that the Syrah helps maintain the level of the voice, as the dynamics of the syllables are more homogeneous. My second compressor is a Pure Compressor on the acoustic guitar. Globally, it allows me to turn down the volume on the fortissimo parts while compressing certain irregular attacks. For this, I've used a medium attack time of about 20 milliseconds so as not to affect the transients too much. I then set the release to automatic, giving it a value of 30 to 250 milliseconds. Then I set my ratio to 2.36. Personally, it's rare that I go over that on this kind of compression. I then also use the level independent detection, or LID. The threshold setting for the LID can be found next to its pot. When the LID is set to 0%, the detection acts only on the level. When the LID is set to 100%, the detection only acts on the LID method. Here I've chosen to stay at 50%. This allows me to gently smooth out the dynamic on the pianissimo parts. Finally, I'll finish the dynamic treatment of this mix with a few bittersweet pros. The first on the kick, in the mix, a second on the bass, a third on the acoustic guitar, and lastly, one on the mix. I find that the source material is generally lacking in punch, so I'm working exclusively on the transients, using the TR main mode on each instance. For this particular mix, I didn't have to use the Pure expander as it was recorded using mostly overdubs, so no bleed to worry about. So here's the mix as it stands. The result is quite subtle, but we only needed to correct the irregular dynamics on a few elements, as well as give the mix a little more energy. In the next video, we'll look at the reverb using the Urcam verb session. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up and share it. Feel free to subscribe and activate the bell to stay informed of any future content. If you have any questions, write them in the comments below and we'll get back to you. As for me, I'll see you in the next video.